For years, Proxima B lingered just beyond the veil of certainty, a ghost in the cosmic fog, orbiting our nearest stellar neighbor under the dim glow of a red dwarf star. It existed more in theory than in fact. A statistical anomaly we dared to imagine as Earth's twin. A rocky world in the habitable zone, close enough to dream about, yet distant enough to remain unknowable. That is, until now. When the James Webb Space Telescope turned its unmatched infrared vision toward this elusive exoplanet, the world waited for clarity, sharper contours, refined spectral data, maybe a whisper of water or the trace of atmosphere. But what humanity received was something altogether unexpected. What we saw wasn't just a potential cradle for life. It was a world that seemed to look back, with scars, with patterns, with the quiet suggestion that we may not be the first to observe, or to be observed. Before Webb, Proxima B was a fog of estimates: mass, orbit, temperature. A puzzle built from indirect detection and hopeful modeling. But then, Webb changed everything. Its mirror precision didn't just confirm the planet's existence, it revealed its character. The vague smudge in our simulations transformed into a discernible surface. Shifts in thermal radiation exposed ghost-like contours, ridges, valleys, basins that may once have brimmed with water. Contrary to earlier fears, the hemisphere facing the star wasn't a scorched wasteland. It appeared temperate, sheltered in partial shadow, suggesting the presence of an atmosphere capable of distributing heat globally. This was no dead rock. This was a living canvas, shaped, weathered, and unexpectedly familiar. Then came the atmosphere. As Webb began decoding the chemical makeup swirling above the planet, the tone in scientific communities shifted. Proxima B orbits a volatile red dwarf prone to solar flares, activity that should have stripped away any atmosphere long ago. And yet, an atmosphere remains. Dense. Complex. Active. Thermal patterns suggested wind systems. Jet stream-like currents. But within those gaseous layers, Webb detected something it wasn't expecting. A gas that shouldn't be there. It wasn't ozone. Not methane. Something else, unclassified, stable, reactive. A compound that, on Earth, only appears under one of two conditions: biological processes or technological interference. Scientists labeled it simply Unidentified Trace Compound X, and quietly scrubbed it from public reports. But in private, conversations turned darker. Because if this atmosphere is maintained, then something is maintaining it. And that something is still active. Music. Webb's lens revealed more than terrain. It revealed time. Fractures in the crust suggested tectonic shifts. Smoothed regions hinted at ancient oceans. But some features resisted natural explanation. Symmetrical indentations. Vast circular formations, too perfect, too evenly spaced. Thermal anomalies glowed faintly on the planet's dark side, far from the star's heat, more consistent with internal energy sources. Volcanism? Perhaps. Or maybe something buried. Then, there were the reflectivity anomalies. Certain surface patches bounced light at uniform, anomalous wavelengths. Initially dismissed as mineral variants, until the spectral analysis revealed consistency too precise, too deliberate. These weren't random outcroppings. They were ordered. Repeating. Manufactured. The implication was chilling. The planet may not just have hosted life. It may have hosted civilization. And if something intelligent once thrived there, what happened to it? Or worse, what if it never truly left? But perhaps the most jarring discovery was molecular. Webb detected a mix of gases that shouldn't coexist, at least not naturally. On Earth, methane and oxygen don't persist together unless something replenishes them. Entropy breaks them down. Unless something is alive. And that's what the data showed: persistent, stable levels of mutually exclusive compounds. Not just once. Repeatedly. Over time. And not following any seasonal or orbital patterns, but a rhythm. A controlled cycle. Was it a microbial biosphere underground? A photosynthetic network adapting to a flickering star? Or something more engineered, a terraforming system maintaining balance? Whatever it is, it hasn't stopped. And that, more than anything, is what unsettled the scientists most. Music, and yet, even with all this information, something felt wrong. Too quiet. Too clean. Webb's instruments registered an eerie stillness. No magnetic noise. No atmospheric crackle. No random cosmic interference. As if the system had been sanitized, stripped of chaos. One scientist likened it to entering a room you believed abandoned, only to find everything in place, no dust, no decay. Just silence. And the sensation that someone had just left. Some speculated that Proxima B might be shielded, wrapped in an electromagnetic cloak or encased within a field that dampens emissions. But shielded from what? Its violent star, or from us? Because the more researchers examined that silence, the more it felt intentional. Not an oversight. Not a glitch. A message. Not in light, not in sound, but in absence. A message that said, "You shouldn't be here." As data poured in, scientists fed Webb's findings into advanced AI systems trained to identify planetary environments. The algorithms flagged patterns, but not just anomalies. Geometric repetitions. Fractal structures. Ratios. Symbol-like clusters. At first, they assumed it was a glitch. Then they ran the data through independent systems. The same patterns emerged. Ratios that mirrored biological and technological constants. The algorithms weren't just processing the terrain, they were interpreting it. As if the planet itself was encoded with a message. A language not spoken, but structured. And when one AI system veered from its training and began running its own simulations, its internal logs returned a single phrase. Pattern recognized, continuation required. Webb hadn't just revealed a planet. It had triggered something inside the machine. Then came the map. As researchers compiled the clearest images from the Terminator zone, where day meets night, they noticed something. Not natural formations, but alignment. Precision. Linear heat patterns buried beneath sediment, erosion, or perhaps something meant to obscure them. At the heart of it all, a perfect circular structure. 2.8 kilometers wide. Smooth. Intentional. Something made. And within it, a material not found on Earth. A synthetic compound with light-bending properties, rendering it nearly invisible across multiple frequencies. Still active. Still responding. And with that, everything changed. Because now, we weren't just seeing a world that could support life. We were seeing the remains of something that had already built, already engineered. A civilization, or something beyond civilization, that had left behind a message. A whisper through time. A fingerprint buried so deep it could only be seen when humanity had finally grown capable of recognizing it. This wasn't a mirror. It was a crack in one. And through it, we saw not only a planet, but ourselves. Because Proxima B may not just be a world that mirrors Earth. It may be a template, part of a larger cosmic cycle. A pattern repeating across time and space. Or perhaps it was never about mirroring. Perhaps Earth is the echo. A reflection of something far older. The timing is what haunts us most. We've stared into the void for generations and seen nothing. But now, as our instruments finally reach their pinnacle, something peers back. Webb didn't accidentally uncover Proxima B's secrets. It was led to them. Every frequency. Every algorithm. Every enhanced layer, it feels deliberate. As if something waited for us to reach this threshold. As if this wasn't a discovery, but an invitation. Or worse, a warning. So what do you believe? Was Proxima B just another lifeless rock in the void? Or did James Webb just uncover the ruins of something we were never meant to find? Let us know in the comments. And if this shook your view of the universe, share it with someone who still believes we're alone. Subscribe to Discovery at 2.0, and turn on notifications, because the moment we saw Proxima B clearly, everything changed.